This is questing time, where we play Dungeons & Dragons, but with comedians, so not really. I'm Paul Foxcroft, your host and Dungeon Master. Last session, the party literally dove into the town of Cascadia to try and save it from bandits, and what they've done is a spectacular amount of collateral damage. As we speak, Phillin Blanks is messing about with a magical unicorn called Jeff. The amazing Claire is still massive, and inside her Wendy house, the Rev Hardcore remains all floppy, and the Rough Knight is currently dragging one of the bandits sideways through a load of walls, causing spectacular amounts of damage to the town. It's what we've come to expect, but also, a little while ago the players detonated a massive magical tree in the air, and any second now bits of that flaming magical tree are going to start slamming into the ground. So, you know. At least they've got a theme? Look, enjoy the show. I'll see you at the back end. Bye-bye.
However, that's the end of the first turn of combat, and that's when the shards begin to land. So, can everybody make dexterity saving throws, please?
Oh, yeah!
Paul?
Yes.
I'm very happy to make a dex saving throw, but I feel like I'm currently grinding a man in armour through buildings.
Yes.
I feel like if shards are falling, they're not necessarily hitting me.
Let's see how that works out for you.
Natural 20!
It's so awful, Paul froze.
He's got cold damage.
Paul hasn't frozen.
Can you hear me?
That's just...
We can hear you now. You are moving again.
I'm moving again. Lovely. Matt, what did you get?
I got a 19.
Lovely. Richard?
A 9.
And Briony?
17.
Great. So, here's what happens. Between you and the... Matt, we'll deal
Sorry,
with...
can I just point out, 19 is by Paul Hardcastle. Sorry. Really felt
in a very different reference, Will Wheaton, which I imagine the chat will get, and almost nobody else. Cool.
It's like Rufus Jumper to me.
Richard, let's go with Matt. As you're there,
Yep.
what you see is a couple of things occurring. One is you're outside of the pub. The pub is just called The Dive. This Minotaur is in front of you looking up, and it's like, where the hell did that unicorn go? As in front of you, what you see is some of the the humans, there's two humans who are part of this gang, and you can see they've all got like light blue gang colours on, like shoulder pads or a sash or something. They're all wearing the same iterations of light blue. One of them sees you and just goes, "Hey!" and is crushed by a flaming chunk of tree. The guy who's been knocked on his back by the Reverend Shield goes, oh, come on! And then is lanced by a branch of tree, goes straight through his torso, pinning into the ground and killing him outright. Where are we? There is a potion shop. I should say it was. As an enormous piece of the faraway tree slams into that, crushing it. That lights up in a ball of green flame.
Green flame? But any Big Trouble in Little China fans?
You have no idea the reference you think you're making, Matt. Everyone in the chat, use the emoji. There's... what else happened? Sorry, there were two other rolls I made. We'll come to Rufus in a second. Claire, your house is just that you are like X-winging through all of these bits of flame. You are zeroing. What are you going to aim at this turn?
Oh, I'm aiming at the Minotaur that's still on the ground.
Cool. You've also got... two more of these thugs are... Yeah, two of them are just smashed by an enormous piece of the faraway tree that is flaming. Matt, there's bits of the faraway tree falling all over town. So they are, I won't lie, taking out, I'd say, about 5% of the buildings. Quite a lot of the town is on fire.
Like Ravensheim.
Yeah,
You know what? It could have been worse.
Nice.
A big tree could have fallen in it.
We have never entered any place of large settlement without just slaughtering indiscriminately as many people as we find. The idea that we should approach this any differently
you
would
are
be
true.
betrayal of everything that we've built to this point.
Right.
Yes.
We are
You
consistent.
note these things. Richard, you and your Minotaur friend are hit
Yeah.
by an enormous lump of flaming tree. Rufus,
Yeah.
what happens to you is as you're slamming through building after building with this guy, an enormous, almost sort of 100-foot tall dagger of flaming wood slams into the earth in front of you, and you have the option now of smacking your guy into it.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
20. You can make a free attack roll just to see if you're able to hit him with it, and then I'll.
Can I roll?
He's quite injured.
I'm raging. Can I roll this at advantage?
Yeah, because it's basically a strength check to move him into the path of this thing.
Yeah. Is it a strength roll, did you say?
Functionally, yes.
21.
Jesus Christ. Okay, sure.
Fucking hell.
So this thing falls down, and actually, as you watch it falling, and as it happens, you look at this guy and just sort of hold him up and throw him.
Yeah.
As he skids to a halt, goes to stand up, as he with his left hand pushes against the floor to stand up, with his right hand reaches for a blade, and then just looks up. As this massive lump of flaming wood slams into the earth, and he just explodes. He bursts. You are showered in his blood, and stood there, imagine sort of hovering there in front of this enormous, pyre, doused in the blood of this guy.
Is there are there any largish chunks of him?
Yeah, there's a leg.
Fine. So I, as I'm getting splattered, you can either have it's pure storytelling. Do you want me to see the leg spiraling and catch it, or does it just spiral and stick on the spikes in front of me?
Dealer's choice, mate.
Sorry?
Dealer's choice.
Oh, okay. It sticks on the spikes in front of me.
Sure.
It sticks on me, but I'm as that happens, I know that the fight's kind of behind me, so I'm sort of doing that, getting the blood splatter, and imagining behind me is down, heading back towards the fray.
Fair. So it's like clink. Okay, so Matt.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no, tell her like Richard, you get slammed into it by a massive piece of flaming wood.
Sorry, Rich.
All right, don't apologise.
Can you make a strength? I'm going to ask you to make a strength roll against the Minotaur to see which of you is between the tree and the other guy.
I'm going to give him bardic inspiration because of how he's rolling for that, please.
Okay, sure, feel free.
Can I? No, I feel like my character can't refuse to accept bardic inspiration. Can he?
There aren't actually. I don't know if there is a mechanic. You don't have to use it if you don't want it to. In fact, what you have is you.
He's basically going la 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 la.
The way it works, the way bardic inspiration works is you get given an extra D8 to add to any roll you like within 5 minutes.
Okay, cool.
You
Got
don't
it.
have to use it for this. I mean, I would because I've seen how I've rolled.
Okay, then I might.
Okay.
Just apropos of nothing. Oh, fuck's sake. Okay. Well, we're going with the first one. It ended up as a 15.
Right.
Is
Are
that
you adding a bardic inspiration to that?
Oh, wait. In which case it's... Wait, what is...
You roll 1d8 and add to it.
The bardic
sorry.
inspiration adds a D8 to your roll.
A puddle. Add 5. Rough 20.
For real?
Yeah.
Real.
Yes, I had rolled a 19. So you, in midair, last second, just going to put your foot on this Minotaur's chest and flip over. So the Minotaur takes the brunt of the impact of the wood. You are still going to take some, as you are not flying. Please take. Okay, that could have been a lot worse. 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 bludgeoning damage.
So what's going to happen here is I'm going to pass out
Right.
because I'm on 5 health
Okay.
somehow. So I sort of do something really cool and then immediately pass out, and I'm still falling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes.
Claire,
Well,
this is your time.
if you're unconscious, you no longer have the means of slowing your fall by changing your perception of down.
Okay.
Hooray!
Also, you're gelatinous.
That Minotaur that is a very interesting point. That
Yeah, it's off landing.
that Minotaur is very injured by this. So, Matt, it is your turn.
Yeah! The carnage is raining around Phillin in a glorious way. So we've teleported behind the other Minotaur, right?
Yes.
Okay, I want to do a series of things here, Paul, if it's
Sure.
okay. As a bonus action, would it be unfair to say I quickly touch the unicorn's horn?
No, that's reasonable.
Regaining 11 hit points. Thank you very much.
Rap, 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 rap.
Yeah, I read.
That's not how that works.
Yes, regaining 11 hit points. Paul.
The unicorn does that to people. You can't steal the healing on the unicorn.
Can we just have a moment where we're quite simpatico, Paul? Can we have a moment? Can we have a moment? Can we have a moment?
Phillin was able to teach a unicorn how to fly just by looking in its eyes.
Yeah.
I think we're past the point where we can argue how simpatico these things are.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Paul,
Surely.
what I would like to do, is the Minotaur a little bit distracted?
He's very distracted.
Okay. Would you say his mouth is agape, or their mouth is agape?
I would say that you are immediately behind it.
Okay, well, using the Tides of Chaos for advantage,
Yes.
I'm going to assume its mouth is agape. Using my simpatico relationship with the unicorn, I'm going to try and alley-oop over the Minotaur,
Yes.
turning in midair with my definition of down, and using the potion of shrinking I've been holding on to for weeks, I'm going to try and force it in the Minotaur's mouth and shrink the bastard.
Can I also give Phillin the bardic inspiration
And
for this?
No, you don't have to. I've got advantage, and I've already rolled a 19. So let's see how that goes.
Because you have bardic inspiration in your back pocket, so you can add a d8 to any skill roll you want.
Why not? Why not add a D8? Let's do it. I've rolled a 19 at advantage, and I've rolled a 7 on a D8. And I'm going to try and shrink the bastard.
Cool. I've given this thing a dex saving throw, which he's rolled a 2 on. So yeah, you are able to. You've created a Minotaur.
A mini Minotaur.
As this Minotaur shrinks from a height of about 12 foot to the height of about 6 foot, which looks weirdly stupid. Actually, tell me actually, Minotaurs are about 9 to 10 feet, so this thing's like 4.5 foot now.
It's the same height as Phillin.
Yeah,
And then I Henry Cavill it.
I would love it if Phillin hops off the horse and goes, "All right, mate, let's go."
Yeah, let's
So,
do
yeah,
it.
you've done. At which point, Jeff.
Now pick on someone your own size.
Yeah. I'm gonna just look in its eyes, Paul, and I'm gonna say, "Plans are for cowards and geese," and then Henry Cavill it.
Nice.
Ironically,
The arms.
Yeah.
Club.
you say that
Jeff,
having done the most planned thing I've seen Phillin ever do.
I've been holding on to that potion for so long. So long for a big thing.
Jeff just goes. So Jeff, the unicorn, I should say, goes, "Yeah, what he said," and just smacks it in the face with one of its hooves.
I'll have you know, Paul, just if you are hitting it with his hooves, I've done the reading, and he does get 2 attacks, 1 hooves and 1 horn.
I know.
Just if you want to, just.
What? Matt?
What's happened to you?
Makes
I'm
you
gonna
unicorn expert.
just what I found out, guys, is you can type anything into D&D Beyond, and it tells you about the thing. There's multiple tabs. I've never known this in all my years on the planet. If you do the reading, you learn stuff.
Lovely stuff. So now we've got one of those bat creatures left, which is going to attempt to get in the house with Claire.
That does not have an invite.
I know. But it's not going to succeed because it can't because of the magical nature of the house. So it's just sort of pulling on the door outside and scratching at it.
I'm saying you're very rude.
Next up, you've got it is Ruff. Your full turn as you zip back into the town square, soaked in blood, clutching a leg.
I head for the what is it? Yanging at the door of Claire's hut.
A little ice creature. Although I should point out, Claire's hut is about 5 seconds from slamming into the ground. You've also got a minotaur picking itself up from some wreckage next to an unconscious hardcore, and you've got a couple of humanoids. You can see them now. There's like a mixture of elves and air ganassi, which are like in the same sense that Claire is a human with devilish heritage, so she's red and has horns and hooves. These are humans with a heritage of like air spirits. So they tend to have like pale blue skin, slightly wafty hair, white on white eyes. They're native to this plane, but they function mostly like humans.
Okay, how close are they standing next to each other?
There's from memory. Hang on, I've done this. You've got one on his own, two adjacent to each other, and a third one on his own.
Guys, just whilst you're doing that, I can still hear, but I must just depart for a second.
We'll take a break after this combat round.
Have I got? If the two that are standing close to each other, I'm just like, if I'm basically arguably in control of my flight.
Yes.
Is there a way that I can line myself up to take out the two that are close to each other and sort of barrel into the pair? I'm just trying to do bruising spike damage.
Well, you can, if you wind up adjacent to them, then you can attack one with each attack. So yeah.
Okay, I'd like to do that then.
Sure. Cool. Well, you will assume you fall in their direction.
Yeah.
And make two attack rolls as you zip past.
Do I get advantage on both of these?
Yeah, because you're raging. Yes.
Okay. 22 is the first one. 22 is the second one.
Both of them hit.
Wow.
And now grapple is it?
These are you're just hitting them with your axe, I should think.
Yeah, so I'm just sort of barreling in and swiping with the
Yeah.
Fine.
Screaming incoherently as you go.
Okay. Okay. 9 damage for both.
Okay. One of them just slumps down dead. The other one is very, very badly wounded. And I believe it is now his turn. So he's going to attempt to. There's only 3 of them left now, but that one's going to attempt to stab you up, Rufus. That's an natural 20. So that's. Oh, shit. 8, 10. 20. Oh, you halved stabbing them. So it's 22 damage because it was double, but it's halved again.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Try and look a bit less upset about it, Paul.
So it's only 11 damage for you this time around. One of his mates is going to shoot at you as well. Will a 16 hit?
Unfortunately, it will, yeah.
Cool, that's 5, 6, 7, 8. So halving it is 4 damage as another crossbow bolt slams into you. And then another one is going to run across to one of the minotaurs and give him a potion. The minotaur that's picking itself up out of the wreckage near Hardcastle. And that's his turn. Next up, Briony.
Yes.
What the hell's going to hit?
Well, the house who's left standing is bad.
You've got there's 3 of the humanoids. There is a minotaur next to an unconscious Hardcastle.
So is he fallen?
Richard.
Yeah.
I want to cure wounds on Rich before he hits the floor.
You're not near enough to him just now. But Richard, you've hit the ground with that other minotaur, I should point out, and you've also taken 1 bad death save from taking damage when injured, when unconscious.
But I can do healing word from where I am,
You can.
so I'll do that.
Okay.
And I can do 2 things with healing word.
Yeah.
So I can do healing word and aim a house at something.
Yes.
So I will
So
do
the
that.
options you've got left: normal size minotaur, compact minotaur, 3 random humanoid bandits.
Normal size minotaur, please. And I'd also like to try and turn the house so that the bat thing that's trying to get at the door is also squished.
Or would you say that Briony is good aligned? I can't remember.
Yes,
I'm
she is.
chaotic good.
Is Richard good aligned?
Yeah, he's lawful
It's just
good.
because it says here on the unicorn's page, when a good aligned creature casts a spell and uses a magical effect, causes another good aligned creature to regain hit points, the target regains maximum number of hit points possible for that spell or effect. It's just something that's written on the D&D Beyond page.
It is. It absolutely is, but it only has effect in the unicorn's lair, which you have summoned it away from.
Damn it!
Ah.
So close, guys. So
I
close.
love that you're new to this. I've read all this stuff before, mate, in the fucking 90s.
I was hoping, and this is an old technique that people have used before. If I talked with confidence, that you might not.
Roll your healing word.
Yeah.
What level are you casting that at, by the way?
3rd level, because he keeps dying.
Yes, he does.
16.
16? Great. Rich, you get 16 hit. That seems like a lot for healing word, but sure.
As 3rd level, I did this. It did it on the sheet. It's 3d4 plus 4.
Oh, yes, so it is. Cool. Richard, you have 16 health points back. Hooray!
Back in the game.
And Briony, please make an athletics check to aim the house.
Can I do acrobatics?
You can have
I want to.
You can have athletics or acrobatics at disadvantage.
Oh. Can I do acrobatics with my inspiration to make it at advantage?
Yes, you can. No, it doesn't give you advantage, it just takes the disadvantage away.
Okay, so I got 17 plus 8. That's something. Over 20.
Land this house on a minotaur.
And I turn it so it squashes the bat too.
Yes. Okay, so... Oh, Christ.
I basically run, like a hamster wheel. That's what I'm doing inside the house to make it turn.
Okay, so I have no idea how much damage this should do.
You don't have stats for a Wendy house damage?
I don't. I really don't. I'm just going to roll...
Because it says here on D&D Beyond, Paul.
I'm going to treat it like... I'm going to pick another 3rd level spell and treat it as okay, this is bad.
Is that a special website you set up, Matt, called D&D Beyond Paul?
Yeah.
It's very specifically all of the grey area in Foxcroft there.
Yeah.
Hang on. So I'm doing maths. Shush. 8, 16. That's 30. Okay, it does 38 damage. To the Minotaur who'd already taken quite a bit of damage. And so that Minotaur dusts himself off, having just drunk a potion. Oh god, there's a bloke next to him. That bloke just bursts. The Minotaur takes 38 damage. Hang on.
It's the large Minotaur I went for.
Yeah, I know. That Minotaur takes 38 damage, having just downed a potion. And the little ice beast bursts. All of the explosion is very much concealed. The house just lands and falls apart, and then Buster Keaton style, Claire just stands up in front of it.
And I say, ta-da!
Out from under the house, eyes blazing red, covered in blood and dust and wood, this Minotaur just rises up and just bellows an incoherent scream of rage and blood and teeth.
Are you Lucifer Gravy? Nice to meet you.
Richard, it is your turn. You've just come back to consciousness and watched this happen, I would say, 2 feet from you.
Okay, Christ. Okay. Who's still there then?
There is a massive Minotaur who is now screaming incoherently at Claire. There is a smaller Minotaur who is next to a unicorn.
Well, just for me, call it a mini Minotaur.
Mini
There's a mini Minotaur next to a unicorn. By the pub.
Surely, come on, guys.
Yeah, Minotaur.
A Minotaur.
And there's 2 other humans. 2 other humanoids
Okay, got it.
around. There's an Ganassi and a elf.
Okay, cool. I'm presumably my spiritual weapon has dissipated because I died.
Oh yes, because you were unconscious, it would have done.
But can I get that going again?
Yep, bonus action. Feel free.
I'll do it, and I'll send it at one of the humanoids.
Okay, cool. Which one?
The one,
So it's one who's been a bit wounded and one who seems fine.
the one who seems fine.
Okay.
Gonna hammer that guy.
All right. He takes a smack around the. He just gets hit in the back with a hammer from nowhere. And
Right.
your actual action this turn?
So I'm really close. So rather than throwing my shield, I'm just gonna take it two hands as this guy's screaming at Claire. And I'm just gonna whack him over the back of the head, like that.
Like a dinner tray.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. Okay, make your attack roll, please. And instead, this time, because using it two-handed, instead of using a D8, use a D10.
Ooh. Oh wait, so less good.
No. It's like,
Yeah.
Well, unless you roll a 1.
1% better.
well, hang on, you've got to roll to hit first.
It's like the 8, but this one goes up to 10, Rich.
Rich, roll to hit.
Explain very slowly what I need to do.
Roll D20 and then add your hit value. And then instead, you'd usually roll a D8 for damage. Instead, use a D10 for damage.
Shit, I understand. Okay, so
Inspiration.
that's 18 on the D20.
That's a hit. You've hit the Minotaur. Well done.
Hooray! The damage isn't superb though. I haven't done that brilliantly, to be fair. It's 6.
That's like it could be worse.
That's good, mate. That's good.
Yeah.
Don't beat yourself up.
Hey,
You're trying.
Come
guys,
on.
just tone, both of you.
Lovely. So how much damage was that total? Please?
So 7 damage in total then.
7 damage.
I think in game both me and Phillin shared a cheeky little grin in as well.
Yeah. So as you just whack the Minotaur, you can't hit it on the back of the head. You can't hit it on the back of the head. It's 8 foot tall, but you hit it across the back with this thing, and the thing just slowly wheels around and looks at you, and then has its turn. And this Minotaur is going all out. It's going to use its reckless ability to get advantage on all of its attacks. It picks its great axe up out of the actually, it doesn't. It just picks up a shattered beam of house, which will treat like a maul, and is going to swing at Claire.
Just because I landed a house on the guy.
It is mainly because of that. Oh shit! What's your armor class, please? No, irrelevant. How many hit points you got left? Because it's about to be none. Because this guy just rolled a natural. It is natural 20 tonight, friends.
Wow.
I prefer it when the unicorn does it.
Yeah.
26 is my hit points.
All right.
By the way, Hardcore very much disagrees that it's natural 20 night, by the way. He's having a very different evening.
That's fair. That's 8.
He's yet to have a funny evening.
That would be Hardcastle's autobiography. Jesus Hardcastle, a very different evening.
An evening with Hardcastle.
A very different evening.
That's his 15-minute long show on Radio 4 that goes out at 7 p.m.
There is bad news, which is because that was a critical. This is double, but you take 32 damage
Oh.
as this thing picks up a piece of the house, smacks it into you, and you are cannoned into one of the houses, like through the window of one of the houses across the square, and just left there, slumped against the front of it. I believe unconscious, unless something.
Yeah, no, I'm unconscious. I can't even do Hellish Rebuke, because I've not got the spell slots.
Despite himself, Hardcore goes, Claire!
Oh, I'm unconscious, so I can't even appreciate it.
And as he
Just the way he
as
would.
you do that, Richard, your armor. Oh man, your armor class is 19, you prick.
Yep.
As the Minotaur also swings around, just blood and froth coming from its house, and you just go and catch its fist in your hand because it got 18, you prick.
Yeah.
And there's a moment where it's like forcing you down, but you're like holding your ground. Next up, Matt, initiative 20, it's you.
Okay.
Yeah, more bits of the faraway tree slam into some buildings, but nobody gets hit.
Yeah, but it looks cool behind us, so remember that, Paul. You're focusing on the wrong things here.
Fine. Matt, what would you like to do?
I assume in my peripherals I've seen Claire go unconscious. So if it's all right with my simpatico relationship with Jeff, I go, Jeff, I've got this minotaur. Would you mind helping my friend over there with your magical healing horn? And I asked Jeff to go and heal Claire.
All right. Cool. So Jeff just runs quick enough that you're no longer riding it.
No, I got off. Remember, I leapt off to do the
Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough. So Jeff scurries across the town square. We'll deal with that in a second.
And then when
Minotaur.
so I pull out my 2 daggers because I can double hand weapon at the same size minotaur at me. I go, I know what you're thinking to yourself, mate. Did I have 1 dagger or did I have 2? The question you've got to ask.
You've just reminded me that Minotaur didn't have his turn. I'll do that.
Come on, I'm mid-flow here.
And it's mid-flow when you're like, did I have 1 dagger or 2? He hits you.
And I take how much damage, Paul?
Well, hang on. I just need to check how much he loses for being reduced.
Oh, yeah. Let's just half it.
That's not.
It says here on D&D...
9, 6. Hang on a second. Reduced. Okay, it does 1d4 less damage. That's fine.
Okay. How much am I taking?
Taking 9, 15, 19.
How much?
You're taking 16 damage.
I mean, that's quite a hit. So I'm doing that. I'm going.
Yeah.
Do I have 1 dagger or burn? But really for a whole few seconds, I'm just like, or 2 daggers. But the question you're gonna ask yourself later is, do you feel fireball? And then I level 3 fireball, and I drop the daggers simultaneously, and I level 3 fireball.
I wish I was conscious to see it.
I'm going to ask the chat a question. 2 questions. One is, bear in mind how Matt described this. How far away from the Minotaur would you in the chat say he is, realistically?
I thought we
You've all heard him. You've all heard him.
Yeah, but okay.
And then bearing that in mind, do you remember?
I don't care.
You remember this bit? The Minotaur is outside of the pub. And the Minotaur is also in an area doused in flammable liquids. Matt,
I'm ready for it.
hang on a second. Can you and... Oh my god, let me just check the radius of a fireball. But certainly, Matt, can you make a dexterity saving throw, please?
I sure can, Paul. And you're going to hate this.
I'm unconscious.
You're going to hate this because I've rolled another 20.
I just
24.
And if you could just
Soames is
add the 3 onto that, please.
Soames now. He's done.
God, he's too unhappy.
He's basically completely crumpled with the idea of what it is to roll anything.
I just want to say this to the chat right now. I want to be buried with this dice.
Okay, and then magic roll is fucking hell, another 1.
Oh, Paul.
Okay, so look, I've got to do some stuff. Matt, can you roll the damage for a fireball, please? Which I believe is 8d6.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find my d6.
Basically centered on you is a 20-foot orb of flame explodes.
Nice. That would be a 3, a 4, and a 5. Very pleasant. Not in that order, but it sounds fine. So yeah, what's that? That's 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh yeah, to the chat, because I was doing so much firebolting and saying it was fireballs, I thought it'd be funny to upgrade on level 3 to a fireball, just so it's canon.
Yep. So that's the first 3 dice have been rolled, and that's 12. Keep going.
Oh, how many more do you want me to roll?
The other 5.
Oh, what? I think, okay.
Fireball,
so
8
3.
to 6.
So you can rally, well, just for speed, that was a 3.
Yep.
Another 3.
Yep.
A 2.
Yep.
A 5. Oh, and a 6 to land.
Okay, so in total that's 31 damage. Matt, you take 16 damage.
I don't care. I'm unconscious for this, but it was worth it.
You're unconscious too, because we've now only got one healer conscious. Oh no, the unicorn might help me.
The Minotaur takes another 31 damage in full. I won't lie, he wasn't expecting that. He's almost dead, but not. And also one of the humanoids who was about the one who was being hit by the spiritual weapon, who was about to, I won't lie, on his turn and flee. All of his flesh is just stripped off of his bones, like Sarah Connor in that Terminator 2.
Yeah. I like to think just as he died, he went, "I picked a hell of a day to quit living."
Elbow 75, yeah. Also then the pub is now very on fire as
sorry, Ruff.
exploding left, right, and centre.
This is going to speed up Ruff's action.
A lot is happening. Right, I'm going to cross some people out the list. They're dead. And now, Ruff, it is your turn. Who blew? Not anymore.
Can I ask a question, Paul? If pubs go on fire, would that naturally give Ruff haste?
No.
I'm stepping out of game in order to talk to my friends.
Yes.
Now, chat. I rather feel like Ruff at this point would be trying to save the pub, but I know I should kill the Minotaur. But if we're sticking true to character motivation, I really feel like I would start trying to save the pub.
It's fair, but you might also reasonably suspect the 2 Minotaurs are threats to the ongoing safety of the pub.
That is true. What I'm going to do is this. I'm going to fly over the top of the biggest Minotaur. I'm going to grab him by the horns. And I'm going to, because by this point I feel like I've established I'm good enough at flying, I'm basically going to grab it by the horns and then imagine repeatedly that slightly behind me is down, and basically grab it by the horns and flick it over my head and smash it into the ground.
Ooh, yeah.
Pretty.
Nice. If you can make a even vaguely appropriate wrestling reference.
Okay, what you gonna do? My vaguely appropriate reference is what? Ruff screams, "What you gonna do when this hang on, I've got this 60-inch dwarf runs wild on you, brother."
I hope the action pause to do the math in it.
Make me a weird suplex roll, please. So this is, again, it's a grapple. It's a strength check with advantage to slam this Minotaur into something less favourable.
Yeah, and unfortunately for the Minotaur, the big one, the Minotaur, I have rolled a 23.
That is fair. It has rolled well, but not that well. And so you managed to literally grab this Minotaur and fling it overhead.
No, the other way. No, I'm going over the top of it, and then as I spin round, I'm giving it the full 360. It's going down in front of my face by the horns.
Fair. What would you like to throw it towards?
The ground. I'm literally just smashing this thing into the ground.
Okay, we'll resolve that in this. We'll treat that as if you're hitting it with your axe for the purposes of damage.
Okay. I just thought it would look cool if I flew over it, grabbed it by the horns, and whipped it round.
Yeah. And some really good quotes in the chat that you could be shouting at any point. But
can I hear what Hardcastle would say when he sees Ruff grab the bull by the horns? I'd like to hear the Hardcastle take of this.
Oh, he's holding that particular animal by a certain part of its body.
Rufus, please roll your damage.
Now, does this... Oh, we're treating it as if it's the same damage inflicted as if I'd hit it with the axe.
For argument's sake, yeah. For brevity, yes.
Right. 6.
Okay. Cool. That
Hang
goes.
on. I get... No, wait, that's bullshit. I get advantage on damage rolls.
No, you don't.
I do somehow. Hang on. There is a thing I definitely...
You do. It's got advantage. You can re-roll your damage rolls if you don't like them because you're a savage attacker.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Better, 8.
Okay, cool. Cool. That guy is now...
Wait a second, and I get an extra attack.
You do. He's also adding 3 damage for your spikes.
Thank you. Because
Okay.
I slammed him into the ground, and now I'm going to hit him with the axe.
Yeah, well, hang on for a second there. I'm assuming you've dropped your axe where you flew at this guy from, because you did grab him with both hands.
That is true. All right.
Is it not?
You might have your hammer in a sling on the back, but
Well, hang on. I didn't. I would never drop my axe. I mean, for fuck's sake.
you did say you grabbed him with both hands.
Yeah. But I mean, I've got a thing on my back where I just like.
Yeah, I would argue that you're raging and not that into administration.
Yeah, quite. All right. Well, look. I'm just gonna. What would you have to work this out? Sadly.
Yeah, shoot.
I've smashed this fucker into the ground.
Yep.
I then imagine directly above me is down, fly up, and then imagine that below him is down.
Right.
So I'm essentially gonna. I'm all spikes and anger. But the point is that the distance I get up and the speed it takes me to get down is less than his reaction time.
Yeah, it's not going to be a ton, but we'll call it a. You're doing it sort of off the top.
Yeah, from the top rope. Exactly.
Yeah.
W. Davies there. From the top rope!
Lovely, yeah, pile driver, the thing. Make an attack roll. It's an unarmed attack, but you're proficient with that. So
Yeah.
make it. Use it. We'll resolve it as if it's your hammer.
It's an 18. Am I adding my strength modifier? Because that's
You are.
21. And no weapon. So yeah, just straight 21.
21. So your damage is damage for an unarmed attack. I can never remember. I think it's just your strength modifier plus. I'll add a plus your proficiency. So what's that? That'll be 5. I'm
Yeah.
going to add a d6 in because of the momentum.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 10. Now, I'd like you to take a little damage from that attack because it is effectively falling, but you're only going to take 2 because your resistance to damage. However, the good news is that kills it. As you vip up in the air, shout off the top, and then just dive down. Which part of your body connects with it?
Oh, it's the people's elbow.
Right. Yeah, you people's elbow this Minotaur in the throat.
Yeah.
And it's like you can't breathe, and you're basically then like you get it in a chokehold, and are just wrestling with this thing on the ground, and it just begins to die. Next up, Richard. Briony, story, make a death save for me.
Have I not?
Has Jeff not made it?
Jeff hasn't made it across the town square yet because I won't lie, a lot's happening.
I got a 3.
That's one bad one. Richard, it is your turn. There is now Phillin is just landing next to the pub. There is a small Minotaur. Ruff is currently choking out this other one. There's a mini tour. Rich, what would you like to do?
Well, because I think, like I said, despite himself, Hardcore was so affected by seeing Claire in pain. He's still.
And you can see the unicorn heading over to help.
Oh, so it's where. Okay, fine. So I'm like, she's being attended to. In which case, I'm just gonna. How close am I to the Minotaur?
You're within shield whacking distance.
Can I actually? I'm just gonna jump on it and inflict wounds.
Yeah, sure. Do you want to shout anything while that's happening?
Yeah, I do. I really do. But can I also just... I'm not doing this to buy time so I can think of something cool to say. I just want to make that clear. But I also have my spiritual weapon going.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Can that go and hit?
Here's what happens. You have to the end of the sentence to think of something to shout. Hardcastle starts to not run so much as elongate towards the Minotaur. As he does, he literally runs across the regular Tor that's being choked out by the Rough Knight. Uses that to jump. Right, his legs go all long, and his arms go long as well as he runs to. He goes all long. The spiritual weapon cracks the Minotaur in the back, and I'm going to reduce the amount of damage it does to knock the Minotaur forwards. The Minotaur starts to stumble forwards off of the ledge of the pub, out of the flames. At which point you're not near enough to make contact as you're in midair. What you do is you swing your arm around. Your arm gets super long. 20-foot long rubberized arm smacks the Minotaur across the face. Your hands got all big, and it slaps with the sound. Imagine a coal sack made of rubber full of butter hitting an anvil. And you say,
Nobody puts Rookie in the corner.
and I'm not even going to make you roll to hit. Roll your damage.
Okay. 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 16.
16 damage. As you do this pulse of necrotic energy flows down your weird wrist into your hand, into the Minotaur, into its face, and its face just explodes. There is a hand-shaped exit wound on the other side of its face from where you've hit it, and it just drops down to the floor dead. Jeff the unicorn runs over to Claire, taps her with the horn. So Claire can receive. Oh shit, that's terrible. 5 hit points back. At which point, Jeff the unicorn is also going to trot over to Phillin and do the same, and give Phillin 12 hit points, and then simply turn to the group and go, "Oh, right. So, how come you summoned me?" and vanish.
It's gone.
The unicorn's gone.
Yep.
Oh,
There was a wild magic effect that didn't resolve from earlier on.
I look up into the air and I go, Jeff.
There is still, as you do this, still.
And I say nothing else.
We find our characters in the, I'm going to say, shattered remains of Cascadia town square, as flames, as the fires lit buildings. Townsfolk are running back and forth, extinguishing the flames in various buildings. You can see the pub, the front of it, which has just been torn out by a fireball. The flames in there are being a lady sort of comes out of the pub and opens there's a, how do I put it? There's a large glass jar with chains around it, which she opens that, and some wind comes out of it, and then sort of starts putting out the fires. And what you can do, it looks like a sort of misty, 6 foot tall, quite gaunt humanoid figure that made of mist. That's just smothering fire.
Am I close enough to say anything to this woman that she would hear?
Yeah.
I say to her.
I should also just I want to finish painting the picture for you. There is wreckage everywhere. There's chunks of tree. There's fire. There's blood. There's bits of bandit. There's no small amount of houses have been destroyed. A lot's happened. And also, Ruff, I should also point out, Ruff, you are currently doused in blood. You have 5 root vegetables pinned to various points of your armor.
Yeah.
And everybody else is fairly beaten up, I should expect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can I just go around the group for Matt, Richard, Briony, and Rufus to get what everyone's relative hit points are currently?
I believe I'm on 5.
Great.
16 for me.
I am close to death twins with Matt on 5.
Lovely.
Yeah. I'm also really low.
What are you on, Rufus?
Don't be coy.
45.
You're so strong.
So strong.
You just took damage and went, meh.
Yeah, just shake it off.
The lady in the pub is just shouting Dave, go get some water. At which point, another man comes out of the back of the pub, and he is, how do I put this, the most Dave you've ever seen. If you imagine everything it means to be Dave, that guy is.
It's just endless repeats of Taskmaster.
Oh.
Hey,
Oh!
so yeah, but this sort of apex Dave just looks up at the water spout and darts off towards it. Remember the water spout is a sort of like formless waterfall that exists in portals.
Oh, yeah.
What we aim for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul,
Yes.
I say to the woman, "That's weird. Normally it's when I leave a pub that the wind comes." And I realise she's not into the joke, and then I immediately fly off in the direction of Dave.
Weirdest introduction.
I assume she looks at me because I'm quite nearby, and I go, I think he means his farts.
And I'm gonna say hi. We're I think we've rescued you and damaged some stuff. It's our thing.
You're making the idea of social ruination identity politics.
I'm the amazing Claire. This is Reverend Jack Hardner and Phillin Blanks.
Hello.
And Ruff's just gone off to get some, and he does that a lot. How can we help?
Well, you can start by putting out some of these fires.
Sure. Okay. I get the water thingy. I've got an endless decanter of water.
You do have a decanter of endless water.
I am going to fire it at some fires.
Okay, lovely. What setting?
Medium. What are the? I not everyone checks D&D Beyond before they make
Oh,
it.
you really should.
Oh, Briony, please.
You really should.
Okay. I can do stream, fountain, or geyser. I know what I should do and what I want to do. How much fire is there?
You could
There's quite a lot of little fires all over the town.
you could redirect down so you could go above them.
Oh yeah, I can float up and then go down. Okay. Do you think 5 gallons will be enough, or do I go with geyser?
Bear in mind, you can do this every turn.
Oh, okay, I'll do fountain because it'll look pretty and just float up above things and put them out.
Okay, sure. Actually, that's actually pretty effective. You managed to
I'm as
extinguish
surprised as you.
most of the local fires by flying around up top.
Part of me realizes we could have done this in Raven's home.
Yeah, you could have.
No, we didn't. Don't.
Had it the whole- had it the
Part of
whole
me's a
time.
little sad thinking we never
So
put
that
those
takes-
fires
I
out.
don't think they would have got it, Bri. I think you're
That'll take Claire a little bit of time to sort out. Meanwhile, Phillin and you've left Phillin and the Reverends there to talk to the lady in charge of the town.
Hello, I'll be with you in 1 minute. I've just got to get my drink here, and I just look into the corpse of the Minotaur and I go, "Go on, Squeaks, noms." Just training him up for that little call there, noms, and just let him go and eat that Minotaur. Hello there. How are you?
I've had better days. I won't lie. But I guess we owe you folks a debt of thanks for saving us from the Gravy Boys.
Yes, you do. I'll take whatever you want to give me.
No, I will do the negotiation, Phillin. If you could just attend to what will be a lethal Drake.
And very soon.
Listen, Miss, I didn't catch your name.
Romfar.
What fart?
Romfar.
Rome farter.
Phillin, just deal with the. Miss Romfar, we are not of this.
It's Rome fart.
We are not of this realm. We are Looking to get.
Everybody around you're clueless.
Say that again, sorry.
It's pretty clear to anyone who looks at you folks, you're clueless.
Oh, that's
No, we're not.
As if.
You're not there.
Ah, damn it.
that seems harsh, but I completely get from context why you've said that. Listen, we're trying to get back to Sigil, and seeing as you've saved us, do you know of any plane walker that we might find in Cascadia who could help us?
Well, I don't know what kind of addle cove wants to get back to Sigil, but sure.
What did you just call me? Sorry, just not in a rude way, just genuinely, what did you do?
What I said was only the addle cove would want to get back to Sigil. Horrible place.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
Like living inside a pipe.
But let's say we're those sorts of people.
Yeah.
How would we?
Are. Well, if you were looking for a planeswalker, then
Yes,
the right person to talk to might be Halcyon Gale Force.
Where would we
they
find
also a farter at Gale Force?
Jeff? At which point, that sort of mist figure just stands behind her, looming over you, and just it hasn't got eyes. But Phillin, you absolutely, in fact, Phillin, make a charisma saving throw.
Not bad, not bad. Like, I know I've got good charisma. Where are you? +6, so that takes it up to 18.
Cool. This thing has made an intimidation check, and it has a rough 20. But you feel very much that it would be a great idea to not get this woman's name wrong again.
Okay.
Hello, Jeff, was it?
Zeph.
Zeph. Apologies. Like the wind.
Yes.
So, listen, Zeph, you're a planewalker, I take it?
No. Zeph's an air elemental. He works here at the pub.
I've put my
recommended you speak to Halcyon, who was a cloud giant.
Right. Okay.
Right? I don't know how much of the town you were aware of. Did you see a tower?
A tower?
Yep.
Yes, I did.
Right,
we saw a tower.
Yes.
That tower belongs to Halcyon, right? And the tower's been stolen, right, out from under her by Gravy and his cronies.
I see.
Right? But she uses that tower to travel the plains.
I see.
Right? So if you can free her, then she'd be able to drive you around in that tower, wouldn't she?
And is she in the tower right now?
We don't know. All we do know is that Lucifer Gravy's got hold of her. So she's either in the tower or back at his place, the Palace of Gravy.
Okay, where would we find the Palace of Gravy?
Imagine next to some chips or something there, Mr. Hardcore.
Depends on their approach to chips. I used to. You weren't. You hadn't frozen, and you just didn't find what we said funny at all. Okay.
No, that was correct.
We cope with stress with humor. It is our way.
Right. Oh, fair enough. Right. Anyway, so what I'd recommend is the problem you've got there is Gravy's home base, as it were, is inside a big old problem of a storm. So
the big one up that way.
You're sort of pointing back towards the
big storm, yeah.
Fury Road-esque storm.
Yeah.
She's like, oh no, that one. And points across the other way to a different but very similar, enormous sort of orb of storm clouds, lightning crackling within it.
Time of year for it, isn't it?
Yeah, but you won't be able to fall through that. You'll get fried by lightning. You need at least some means of flying there. Ideally, some kind of airship to get through it. Can any of you pilot a craft like that?
I give anything a go, you know.
Oh, well, then you're set. You just need to find one then. Meanwhile, up at the water spout, the Rough Knight arrives next to the most Dave, who is casting a spell to kind of just redirect a jet of water from the water spout back towards the town. As he does so like if this happens, and there's just like a sort of, imagine like a prism shifting rapidly, so light changes direction. Weird to look at. You can just see water bend, but it's like a torrent. It's about a 5 foot wide torrent, and it jets just past the bit of floating earth the Cascadia is on. So it's just now like a sort of waterfall has happened next to the town. At which point the Dave turns around and is like, hello.
Do you need a hand?
With the water, I've got the water is dealt with. We could probably use a hand getting it onto the buildings. Although, look, a red woman is peeing on all those houses.
Not what it's just the angle. It's not what I'm doing.
I fly to some point where if I basically like fully starfish in front of this waterfall, I'm bouncing the water. You know, like in Endgame when Thor opens the gate for the forge.
Oh.
That's basically what I'm going to do, but I'm going to have water hitting my back so that it showers out over the town.
Okay, yeah, sure.
I'm basically permanently imagining that the exact inverse of where I'm imagining down is.
Right. So you're kind of opposing the flow of water.
Well, yeah.
Oh, okay. Do me a favour, make a wisdom roll.
Okay.
As you're trying to insisting that down is a different direction based against heavy evidence to the contrary.
That's right. That essentially, if I'm in the way of all of that, the jet of it spreads over the town. So we're sprinkling it basically. Ooh, was it a wisdom? I might have got it right there. 16.
Yeah, that'll do it. This hurts.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
But you managed to like douse yourself, smack yourself in the flow of this water and angle yourself in such a way that you're being held basically level by the two relative gravities, and angling yourself to spray the town. I'll basically say this: you're taking a little tiny bit of damage periodically.
Yeah. No, I can afford it.
But like you're soaking this up. It is exactly like that bit with Thor in front of the light of a sun, only wet.
Yeah.
So you're basically trading your hit points to put out fires. Is effectively what's happening.
I'll take it.
Lovely. Give me a number. How many hit points do you want to burn?
But surely not too many. If a lot of them are already out. How long?
This is sort of happening. This is happening sort of coterminously with your efforts.
Okay.
So if you're focusing on the far side of town, Ruff can take out a lot of the nearby fires by basically literally making it rain, as somebody said in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
So Rufus, I've got a value here as to how much fire there is. How many hit points would you like to use?
19.
Okay. No, 19. All right, cool. So you knock off 19 damage, and over the course of about 2 or 3 minutes, by re-angling yourself, you managed to put out most of the fires on this side of town. And likewise, Claire, you've dealt with most of the fires on the other side of town. So by the time you all meet up back at the pub, or just outside of the pub, you can see the other two are, Phillin is there teaching his little lizard friend to eat the dead. And
they'll be alive.
Rev Hardcore is chatting with Miss Romfar.
Can I check in the potion place that went green flamed if there's any leftover healing potions or any potions? Pardon?
Make an investigation roll, please.
Okay.
Paul, while that's happening, before Ruff's back, can I just quickly ask a question to Fart Woman?
Sure.
I can't remember her actual name. I just want to chat with you before my friends come back. I don't suppose you have any sort of booze that you can sort of keep in a container, but you get more booze than you should be able to carry. Like, and the thing is just, my friend has got a little bit of a problem, and by a problem I mean a passion. And I just think, because like we save your town and stuff, I just like to give him a little surprise later on down the way. I don't know if that's a thing or nothing. I'm sorry to bother you.
Wait, no, it's entirely fine. Your question is, do I have an impossibly valuable magical item to give you? My answer is
And that's how we play Dungeons & Dragons here at Questing Time, putting out fires and weirding out locals. We'll get to learn more about the people of this town next session, so join us then. Episode 15, Part 3 will be up in a couple of days, so stick around. I mean, don't stick around, it's 2 days a week. Get on with your life, but then come back. Please like and subscribe. Do I really need to keep saying that? Apparently I need to... yeah, please do like and subscribe. I've said it. And we'll have the next episode up before you can say, don't fire me. Bye.